Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 12.2.2 on Weitzmann regions. So we're going to go back to our pitch wheel and think about an augmented triad. Beautiful, equilateral triangle, we love it. And if we move any of the three corners a half step in either direction, you get either a major or a minor triad. So here we have C major. Here we have C, E flat, A flat, that's A flat major. Here you have E, G sharp, B, that's E. Down here we have C, E, A, that's A minor. We have C, F, A flat, that's F minor. And here we have C sharp, E, G sharp, that's C sharp minor. So three major triads. If we take one of the corners and move it Widdershins on our circle, and if you take one of the corners and move it clockwise on the circle, then you get a minor triad. Okay, so if you take these six triads and you put them on the tonnets, they cluster closely together. And that makes sense because this diagonal that they all share is the augmented triad that they're all a half step away from. Okay, that checks out. So here are the here is the group of triads that we're talking about. You have your R, so if we think about this as our central triad, C major, you have your relative over here, you have your neberverwant over here. I guess I never actually said what N was in the last example. It stands for neberverwant, which means neighbor related. And then you have your S, your slide. And then you have your PL, so parallel, and then L, and your LP. So those are the triads that we're looking at. They all have a voice leading distance of 2. So that's interesting. And that's not necessarily intuitively obvious. So let's try to unpack that a little bit. Why are they all 2 away? Well, it's obvious for the R-related pairs because one voice moved by 2 half steps. But why is it true for all pairs? Well, if you think about the augmented triad, instead of a line, we can kind of widen it out into a hallway. One half step brings you out into this augmented triad hallway, and then another half step will bring you into any of the other rooms. So these triads form what is known as a Weitzmann region. They're all 2 half steps of voice leading away from each other. This is after Carl Friedrich Weitzmann, who wrote an 1853 treatise called the Augmented Triad, and grouped them into 4 regions based on which augmented triad they were close to. And there are, in fact, 4 Weitzmann regions. It's hard to read here what exactly they are. It's a little too small, but you can check out that in the textbook. There isn't a natural cycle through the 6 triads like we had the alternating P's and L's, but you can cycle through all of them with a chain of N and R transformations. So if we start at your A flat major up here, start with an R to F minor, then we have an N transformation, so F minor to its 5, which is C, to A minor, then A minor to its 5, which is E, then to C sharp minor, and then we end up back at A flat major. Beautiful. So that's what's going on here. Here are Weitzmann regions, and then we'll start to see how they all connect together in the next lesson.